Can we every day say thank you to Stacey Abrams? Just every
Woo!
day.
So can I be honest? I kept saying,
Yes.
let's, praise Stacey Abrams, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't understand, what was happening because I was, some things I missed. So I just Googled it. And then when they explained what she did in 2 years
Mm-hmm.
and how monumental it was and groundbreaking and how contagious. So the explanation was when she lost to, or when she was cheated out of her win to Brian Kemp, she lost by 55,000 votes, which was the same 55,000 that he, as the state's attorney general, discounted. So she missed by a very super slim margin. And so she said, okay, well, I'm gonna make sure that never happens again. And she went on this tear, this campaign of education and voter registration across her state, where she got 800,000 new voters on the rolls. There was some wild percentage where it was like 80% was under the age of 30. And like 90% or something was like first time voters. So 800,000. And then started going all over the South and really just explaining her strategy to other states. And it just in 2 years. So that was the I guess the proverbial straw. And I was like,
And
oh, wow.
let me say,
I was like,
and
wow.
the people that's one of some organizer was little, listen, haterade, that's going to be another thing we're going to have to stop.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to give Stacey Abrams her flowers, and it's not in disrespect to anybody else that's out there.
No.
There are a lot of people on the ground organizing.
Yeah.
But this woman was very specific in her strategy.
Right.
that we now look at. Biden is leading by less than 2,000 votes, 1,555, and it's dwindling. I guarantee Trump would have won by maybe a couple of 100,000
without her work.
Maybe.
Yeah, because it was Fulton County. It's Fulton County.
Yeah.
This is the blackest, largest county, and it's Atlanta. And Fulton County was where all the votes came from. So when they said that Georgia votes came in, they hadn't counted Fulton County yet. I was like, oh, they haven't counted Fulton County. I was like, they were registering people in front of the club.
Yeah.
People in front of the club, strip clubs. Strippers did voter registration videos down here.
And she started a nonprofit called Fair Fight, and then partnered with other nonprofits that were doing the same thing. But they said she did numbers that have never been done anywhere.
She raised $32 million.
Yeah. So that's
this
amazing.
is the blueprint. This is the blueprint. And there's two lessons in that. First of all, she said after she lost to Brian Kemp, she said, I sat Shiva for 10 days.
Yeah.
My Jewish brethren would know what that means, and some black folk too. I sat Shiva for 10 days, and then I started planning. Excuse me. Then I started plotting. Plotting and planning are two different things.
Two different things.
You can have a plan, but a plot is so much more powerful.
Take over.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I started plotting. And everybody who's listening, listen, you may not have the energy, the vision, the foresight. Stacey Abrams is a lawyer as well. She also knew how to do what she was doing.
Right.
There's a blueprint here. It's not just enough to just want to do something. To have the background, to have the tools, to have the connections, because running for governor put her in concert with Higher Heights, who were the group of women who were going out already doing this work, and what she did, instead of being a lone wolf and starting a whole new plan, so she plotted on a plan that was already in action. So you understand, she didn't come in and say, I got a plan, as if nobody else had a plan. She looked around and said, okay, there's plans here, here, and here. I'm plotting right now to pull this all together.
Pull it together. Yes.
Hi, Ice Cube. There are millions of people with plans and experience and know-how and tools and backgrounds.
And black women.
Plug in. Go. Say. I would respect him and others if everybody with a plan would say, okay, we all got plans. Let's meet on Zoom.
Right.
And suss through and pull out the best parts of the plan. And it is all inclusive. That to me, and he could do that. We still
could do it. Now is that time. We could do that planning for the midterms and really and all the talk, like So let me preface this. Let me back up just slightly because I still don't think this is over. So let me
It's
just
not
say
over.
that. Yeah, let me say
It's not
that.
over. It's really
Yeah.
not over. Yeah, it's
But
not.
but beyond that, now's the time where we can, just like at your job, you got a team meeting every 30 days, a standing meeting. You know where it's gonna be at down the hall. They're gonna have donuts and tuna fish sandwiches. Like we need to at this point, the conversation can open up about the third party. Are we moving? Are we infiltrating the independent party? Are we doing libertarian? Are we doing our own? The conversation can really focus on DOAS and what role everybody can play in that, and reparations and all that stuff y'all tried to cram in 21 days. Now we can have these conversations.
Yeah.
And plot.
But will we? Will we?
We
This will be the proving ground.
I believe
This will be the proving ground whether these people were about this life. We'll see. Or about something else.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you said that, because I'm not even sitting shiva, because I'm not mourning anything.
Now, what does that mean? 'Cause I don't have any Jewish.
That's when you cover your mirrors. When somebody dies, it's a mourning period. It's a mourning period in the Jewish faith where they cover mirrors, they wear black. There's this whole ritual around it.
Okay.
And it's a time to reflect on what was lost, and honor it. But I've been plotting, I think, since I got out the womb. So I think maybe so I was like, okay.
So for me, that would be like pouring a little liquor out. Is that what you're saying? Like pour a little liquor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But a little bit more than the liquor,
more
too. More than
light a candle.
A whole bottle, maybe.
Okay, got it.
Over a week's time.
And incense and some incense.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Now I can relate.
So the third party thing right now will only be effective, I believe, maybe 4 or 8 years from now, right? Because to form a cogent, viable third party, I think what we should do is what the libertarians have done, which are part of the Republican Party. The Tea Party has done, which is part of the Republican Party. QAnon has done, which is part of the Republican Party. The MAGAs, which they're not really, they're part of the Republican Party.
I
right?
see what you're saying.
There's the Green Party, which is part of the Democratic Party. There's a socialist wing. That are literally socialists. They co-opt Bernie Sanders and others, but there's literally a socialist wing. There needs to be within the party progressives. That's a progressive wing of the Democratic Party that brought us AOC and
Got it.
Jamal Bowman and Tlaib and all these other people who are now Cori Bush in the party pushing it in another direction. We need maybe the black wing.
Right. I feel you. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Be sort of an internal caucus, if you will, like and then activate from the inside.
And what would make us really powerful? To have that wing in both parties.
Yes.
Yes.
I like it.
Yes. So that's how we sleeper cells.
Yeah.
Do it that way.
I shouldn't say this out loud, but Mitch McConnell should never run unopposed again, or a Mitch McConnell type person. A Cindy Hyde Smith should have a viable person running against her during a primary. Shouldn't get to Mike Espy and she ain't have to spend no money, didn't have to debate, didn't have to be challenged. Lindsey Graham should have been so battered, beleaguered, spiritually and mentally by the time he got to Jamie Harris, that the whining and crying he did would have just made him tap out.
Yeah.
But that's what plotting looks like.
Yeah.
Every single Republican who is going to be running for the Senate in 2022 has to have an opponent. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
And every single Democrat who maybe like AOC's opponent, who wasn't checking for her, wasn't checking for his constituents. She came in, she plotted, knocked on every door, introduced herself. It's like, oh, that guy has not done anything for you, and hijacked the party. Nancy Pelosi's a little salty right now because they lost some seats. But they lost seats because they're complacent.
Right.
They're arrogant. I'm gonna say this now because I couldn't really go in because I don't want to be the responsible party for anybody saying, well, Karen said da da da. I'm not voting because they are
right.
I would not be used that way, which is why I was doubly disgusted when people were allowing themselves to be, because I was like, you think I don't want to say something?
Right.
I mean, really? Come on. 866-801-8255. But this is not the year to do that.
Right.
As Biden has 1,546 lead in Georgia. That's how slim that is.
Super slim.
And it's not over.
Hairline fracture. He already said there's going to be a recount.
Yeah, right. They announced. Yeah.
But I mean, that might not matter. That might not matter. So
Might work against them.